Well, my friends, that's it. It's April 5th, 2025, and the TikTok ban officially goes into place today. There will be no. What's that? It's not banned? But it's been another 75 days? Can he even do that? Why would he do that? Let's talk about it. 大家好，我是 Sarant 在中国. Hey everyone, it's Sarant in China. How y'all doing today? I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm having a fantastic day as always over here in China. And it looks like TikTok is having a pretty good day as well. But before we get to that, thank you once again to all my fantastic supporters. Those of you who took the time to hit that subscribe button below and throw me a thumbs up to show that you appreciate the work I'm doing. And special thanks to those of you that took it a step further and used one of the QR codes or one of the links down in the description to buy me a cup of coffee. I really, truly appreciate it. And especially those of you who have joined my monthly members list. Thank you so much, everyone. You're really making this so worthwhile, and I love the fact that so many people are starting to support my channel and help it to grow. 谢谢你们. But now, let's get TikToking. Now, back in January, as soon as Trump came into power, he reversed a decision that was only a few hours old, that TikTok would be banned in America unless sold to an American company. Now, it's important to understand why the American government was insisting that TikTok had American ownership. Now, it depends who you listen to when it comes to the actual reason. The official reason from the US government is, of course, national security, because heaven forbid that the Chinese government is able to get all those top secret dance moves and Tide Pod challenges that the stupid teenagers are doing on TikTok. Lord knows we don't want them to know how stupid we actually are by letting them watch our TikTok videos. Because the very concept, realistically, of people sharing classified or top secret information on TikTok is just ludicrous. I mean, that's what Signal is for, right? But anyway, this whole idea of national security never really had anything to do with the reason that the American government wanted to force the sale of TikTok to an American company. It came down to something a lot more realistic than that. And that reality is money. Money, money, money. TikTok reaches 170 million Americans, half of the American population. What an amazing platform. It's bigger than any other platform in America right now and reaches more and more viewers. Therefore, it has more influence than anything else. Less people are watching TV and mainstream media these days than they are watching TikTok videos. So that is a huge, huge cultural asset for the United States government. On top of that, even though it is foreign owned, not by the Chinese government, as the American government would have you believe, but by ByteDance in Singapore, which is a branch of the larger ByteDance company, but is run underneath Singaporean law, not Chinese law, but it is a hugely profitable company. It is said that even in its existing state, that TikTok in America adds tens of billions of dollars to the American GDP. On top of that, individual creators, businesses, and companies using TikTok are making hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not billions, on the platform themselves, whether through stupid dancing or sharing information that TikTok users want to see. So there is definitely a huge reason why the American government would want to have that massive money-making venture strictly as an American company. Right now, the vast majority of the profits are leaving America and going to the company in Singapore. But if it were forced to be sold to an American entity, then all of that money would stay in America and therefore be subject to American taxes. Now, think about it. If in its current state, TikTok is adding tens of billions of dollars to the American GDP, imagine if it were a wholly owned American company. That would change everything. All of that money, it could be hundreds of billions of dollars added to the GDP just by keeping TikTok in America as a fully American-owned company. Whoever bought TikTok would make an enormous amount of money themselves, but they would also be paying taxes on that money as well, which would be a huge revenue source for the American government. So obviously there are huge reasons why the government and Donald Trump would prefer TikTok to stay inside of America. And like I said, it's nothing to do with national security. It's all about the Benjamins. But why is it that it isn't being run by an American company right now? Well, the simple reality is that even though everybody in the American government will claim that it is the CCP, it's actually the CPC now, but just saying. The CCP is pulling the strings of ByteDance in Singapore. They're not allowing them to send the technology to America. They want to keep that technology all for themselves so they can spy on the American people. Well, if any of you have ever watched TikTok videos before, I'd say 90% of those videos, if not more, are nothing that anybody in the world would want to spy on. Really. I think this whole national security idea is garbage. However, at the moment, ByteDance in Singapore is making a small fortune in the US market. A small fortune that the US government would prefer to keep within the United States. So if you had a massively profitable venture, would you want to necessarily turn around and sell it to somebody using the excuse of national security? Or would you rather just say, you know what? Screw you guys. We're not going to sell. If you want it that badly, develop your own algorithm. And this is the key point. The TikTok algorithm, very similar to the Douyin algorithm in China. Douyin and TikTok are the same thing, just one is the Chinese version, the other is the American or the English version. It is the most successful social media algorithm ever written. Very obviously, considering that the USA has 170 million users on TikTok. It is phenomenal. The same thing is exactly the same in China. People all use this app religiously here because that algorithm feeds them exactly what they want. And that is the key. American tech bros would love to get their hands on that algorithm so that they could dismantle it and use it in their own social media platforms as well. It's the goose that laid the golden eggs. Everybody would love to have that technology and propel their own social media into the stratosphere and get a piece of that sweet, sweet social media money. However, ByteDance so far has not shown any signs of giving in to this political pressure. And realistically, they don't need to. They hold all the cards, whereas the American government may be saying that it's the Chinese government that is stopping this sale. I firmly believe that it is ByteDance itself saying, why are we selling you the golden goose so that you can get all the golden eggs? It doesn't make sense. Donald Jimmy John Trump has once again backtracked on banning the app from America. This is the second time. This in itself is quite a serious issue because this is not some small low-level ban. This is an actual law that Congress voted on and got bipartisan support to actually ban this app on the grounds of national security. Now, Donald Trump overrode that ban back in January, on January 19th, right when he came into office, for two reasons. One, of course, being the con man that he is, he saw the dollar signs. He wanted to try to wrest control of that money-making enterprise for himself. And if not himself, at least for America. But even bigger is he wanted to be the hero. He knew damn well that so many young people absolutely religiously live on that app. And if he could be the golden knight, the shining hero, the Superman who saved their bread and butter, especially for those TikTok creators who actually do earn very, very good livings from that app, he would be a hero to the young people. And traditionally, the young people were not Trump supporters in any way, shape, or form. So when he overrode that ban the first time around, it made him out to be a star with the young people in America. And that is exactly what he needs once again. His insane tariff policies and trade wars are starting to show the American people just what a bad politician Donnie is. He is about to create the worst recession, the worst depression in U.S. history, even greater than the Great Depression in the 1920s, all over his own stupid pride and misunderstanding of how tariffs work. And people across the country are starting to notice this. Donnie's approval rating is in the toilet. It is going down on a regular basis, and other than the tech bros and oligarchs, not too many people, even his strongest supporters, like him anymore. So, if he can gather support from the youth of America once again, show them that he is Big Daddy Trump, that's going to save them from the big bad Chinese empire that's trying to steal their TikToks, that may just be the push he needs to get him through the midterm elections. Because there are a lot of people, a lot of young people, who are potential voters that could save his ass. So whereas, in my opinion, by going back on this ban over and over and over again, in the same way he very bravely and strongly imposes these tariffs on other countries, only to backtrack a day later when the stock market crashes, to me, this is a massive, massive example of what I call pussy politics. Grab him by the Trump. So, what do you think? Is Trump backtracking on this ban once again just to try to save his approval rating? Trying to reach out to young people when he needs them the most? Is he genuinely concerned about bringing that app into America and all the profits that come with it? Do you even think that what he's doing is legal since the Supreme Court has already upheld a law saying that if this app is not sold by today, it is illegal in America. I'd love to hear your input on it. As always, please feel free to hit me up in the comments below. I read all of them and I try to get back to as many as possible. But once again, thank you for joining me for this video today. I really, really appreciate all of your support and all of you watching my videos. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Zai Jen.